is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a tough, hard, difficult, and I was struggling to finish this list of the All-Star team in the Western Conference. You got guys like Devin Booker, Brandon Ingram, Karl Anthony Towns that could be All-Stars this year. But even though their team is losing, they are putting up good numbers. They're definitely in consideration. But those are players that have missed my list. And it was a tough decision because in the West it's so deep and got so many great duos and players that somebody got to be snubbed, somebody not going to make it. And those three guys didn't make my list, and it was tough to take them out or not put them on just because they have been dominating the game from day one. And if it wasn't for injuries or suspensions or even just not being a team that's winning, I had to pick the smallest and little things to make other players jump other players and keep other players off. So let's get into it. I'm just gonna name everybody that I have as an all-star. I'm not gonna reason too much because this is just my opinion. This list ain't right. It ain't wrong. It's just how I personally feel and how I personally like to look at somebody. And on top of that, you gotta look at it like we still got a couple more weeks to go before the All-Star game gets locked in when it comes to the reserves. So this could change due to injury, and it could change through the trades that can put them in a different conference. And this do impact a lot of winning and with guys that really figured it out. So LeBron James, not really a surprise. He's probably the second or the third best player in the NBA right now. He has been an excellent passer, has played better defense than the last couple of years, and the Lakers are number one in the West for 2 months straight. So you have to give them credit, and it's a lot to do with LeBron setting up his teammates while still going out there taking over games when he has to. And now you're starting to see him close a little bit more, even though he tailored off the last couple weeks. He has been an all-around great player for the Lakers. Luka is more of an obvious one too. You look at the numbers, 29, 9, and 9. It's no way Luka can't make it to the All-Star game unless he gets injured. And on top of that, not only is he putting in the numbers, the team has a playoff record in the Western Conference with not that much talent, in my personal opinion. But they have found a way to get the best out of Luka. They have found a way to get the best out of his teammates, and they surrounded him with the right guys. Now it's about can they hold their playoff spot for the whole season and make it. Other than that, Luka is definitely an all-star. Anthony Davis is not even close. The guy has been 27 and 10 most majority of the season. Plus, he's still one of the league leaders in blocks, one of the most unstoppable players, being too fast for centers and too much of a touch for power forwards. He's just so big, so long, so lanky, and he is very athletic. Plus, he has a nice free throw game, and he's still improving his three ball off the catch and shoot three ball. Other than that, AD is what a near perfect center or power forward should be, and he has been able to do that majority of the season. Kawhi Leonard, this is a no-brainer. This is a 26-point scorer on decent efficiency. It's not what Kawhi Leonard used to do, but then he's not really playing more consistently because of the low management. But other than that, he has been a solid defender, excellent scorer, and just a great player this year. Just wish he played more games, but other than that, it still don't deny that he's an all-star. James Harden, this is no no-brainer, leading the NBA in scoring, helping the Rockets still make another year in the playoffs. And even though he doesn't look the same and he's been struggling offensively these last couple weeks, he still is unstoppable. He still is unguardable. He still is one of the most dominant players in the last 10 years, maybe the last 20 years. And a guy just understands the game and really goes out there and manipulates it. So you have to give him credit. Paul George, I know he didn't play that much in October and November. He missed a couple games, but Paul George has still been a solid defender, unguardable player once his jump shot is falling, and he's showing you how great of a playmaker he can be if you give him the ball and allow him to operate offensively. So to me, Paul George is a no-brainer. Chris Paul, this is one that people argue, should Chris Paul be on this list? I mean, the Thunder are a playoff team right now. It looks like they're going to lock up that spot because they're so far ahead of the other teams that, it really helps Chris Paul case. Some people thought the Thunder was going to make it to the playoffs. None of them thought that they'd make it. So he was either on Thunder's side or against the Thunder. I personally didn't have the Thunders making the playoffs, and it was proving me right at the beginning of the season. But as the season has gone on, they know their roles, they know their talent, and they know how to be in their right areas to their strengths. Chris Paul does an excellent job passing them, keeping everybody involved, but he also has been taking over fourth quarters. He has been exciting to watch. He has still shown that he can be a solid defender and he can be an unguardable offensive player if you set him screens that allow him to get first steps in space and room. He'll make the right play, whether it's a pass, whether it's a bucket, whether it's getting to the free throw line. Chris Paul has mastered the game and still has been one of the best players this year. Plus, he's not washed up, and he done proved that so far. Video game Dame at another All Star. He's going out there giving and trying all he really can. It's not his fault that the team at the end of the day is not that good, and they haven't really played at a great level all season. They still have a chance to make it to the playoffs, as they not that far from getting the eighth seed. But other than that, Dame has been Dame, and that's a good thing. Donovan Mitchell, first time All Star. We all know how hard it is to make it to the All Star game in the Western Conference. But when you look at the records and you look at how good Utah has been, they've been in the playoffs basically all year. Whether it was injuries or trades, they still have been able to win games at a high, consistent level. And now their schedule is getting a little weaker, and they're taking a chance. They take an opportunity to beat up on weaker teams, and that has allowed them to feast and improve their record. And now they have a chance for a home court advantage in the first round if they can finish top four in the West, what it looks like they can. Jokic, this is a no-brainer. He has struggled at the beginning of the season, but he's still the main reason why the Denver Nuggets are a great team. He's still the main reason why they're hard to defend, hard to guard. This is a guy that can take over and score whenever he wants to, but he also have the IQ to make his teammates better and give them easy opportunities to score or put them in situations where they can find somebody else to score. Jokic has been a master of the game. He slows down the game and he plays at his own tempo and pace, and he has been clutch. He has been great in the playoffs, and now this season is coming into full form, making him a strong case to be an all-star so far this season. Rudy Gobert, this is controversial. Some people will put Ingram in there. Some will put a guy like Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns. But when you look at the stats and you look at the impact, Rudy Gobert has never been an all-star. And that's just crazy considering that he has been the two-time Defensive Player of the Year the last two seasons. And once your defense is that great, usually you do make it to the All-Star team if your team is winning and you are a top five, top two, number one defensive team and you're the main anchor of that defense. Usually you make it to the All-Star game. So I don't understand why Gobert has never made it to the All-Star game. Maybe it's them getting off to bad starts. Maybe it's him not being consistent on the defensive end from the beginning of the season because they do turn it on at the end and middle of the season. Maybe that's really been destroying his chance of making it to the All-Star game, but they don't have that problem this year. He's been one of the best rebounders in the game, 14 rebounds a game. He's giving you 15 points, and he's still anchoring one of the best defenses in the NBA. I think it's time to give a man the credit when it's due and allow him to make it to the All-Star game. Andre Drummond made it to the All-Star game. DeAndre Jordan made it to the All-Star game. Roy Hibbert made it to the All-Star game. Joakim Noah made it to the All-Star game. Why can't Rudy Gobert? In 12, this is another one that's debatable. I picked Russell Westbrook. I know people going to go crazy. You pick Russ. But Russ 24-7-7. Well, 25-7-7. That's tough to do. those are solid numbers all around. I'm not the biggest Russell Westbrook fan, but I still got to give him credit and respect. I feel like the Rockets have underperformed this year. I thought they'd be a lot better. I thought they'd be a lot more entertaining. I felt like they was, really going to be higher than the sixth seed in the West. But like I said, the season not over. That can change in the next couple weeks because most of these teams 1 or 2 games away from each other from going from second to sixth or six all the way up to number two. So the Rockets can still fix their season. They can still go on a winning streak and still finish in the top four or higher in the Western Conference. And if that is done before the reserves are picked, I think that just increase and helps the chance of Russell Westbrook making it to the All-Star game because he has the numbers. They have a top six record in the Western Conference. Now just to see if they can get higher and if they can turn their play around because they lost 3 straight at the recording of this video and do better. But let me know what you guys think about the All Star game. Do you think that I got it right? Do you think I got it wrong? Do you think I'm missing something? Or do you think that this is the best players in the conference? And if I am overrating somebody, if I am sleeping on somebody, let me know in the comment section below. I do read every comment. Thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you watched the whole video, thanks. And at the same time, continue to share, continue to love the videos, and continue to watch. I appreciate it. Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis. I'm gone.